did you realize that no good deed goes unpunished? My husband Vincent and I lost our 3-month-old son Luca to SIDS last February. I still remember how cold his little body felt when I lifted him from the crib. The paramedics couldn't save him, and I couldn't stop screaming. At the hospital, my husband called my sister Georgia, knowing she would be the best person to comfort me. When she arrived, Georgia didn't tell me this was God's plan, or that Luca was in a better place like everyone else. She just held me and cried with me because she knew. After 5 miscarriages and losing custody of her daughter, she understood this specific hell. So when she offered to stay with us for a while, we immediately said yes. Vincent and I were actually grateful for the company because our house felt so quiet without Luca's little sounds filling up the rooms. Georgia would sit in the nursery for hours, organizing his clothes into memory boxes and creating this beautiful book filled with every photo we'd taken. She had this gentle way of handling his things that made me feel like she was honoring him rather than just packing. I was touched. She wanted something to remember him by. When she started sleeping on the nursery floor with just a pillow and blanket, she said being close to where Luca slept made her feel less alone. I understood completely because I'd been doing the same thing before she arrived. A month later, I noticed something on Georgia's wrist. It was the bracelet they'd put on Luca's tiny wrist in the hospital, and seeing it on her adult arm felt wrong. When I asked about it, she said she'd found it in my jewelry box and wanted to keep it safe. She walked away before I could say anything, leaving me to process what just happened. Another night, I found her in the nursery with Luca's baptism gown stretched over her arms like sleeves. She was swaying, running the fabric across her face. When I flipped on the light, she smiled. I just wanted to feel close to him. I can still smell him, can't you? Because I didn't stop her right there, she went ahead and got his name tattooed on her wrist with my angel underneath. When I finally told her it made me uncomfortable, she turned vicious. You're being selfish. You got to hold him, feed him, watch him breathe for 3 whole months. I buried 5 babies before they took a single breath. Stop hoarding him like he only belonged to you. Her words stung, but the real shock came later that week when we were at the grocery store. Someone noticed her tattoo and asked about Luca, and without any sort of hesitation, Georgia said, "Oh yes, my son was only 3 months when he passed." But then she froze and chuckled nervously before correcting herself. I mean my nephew. That slip at the grocery store haunted me, but I kept making excuses for her grief. Then came the night that still makes me physically sick to remember. I woke at 3 in the morning to find Vincent shaking me. "Georgia's gone," he said. "So are Luca's clothes." My heart dropped when I saw the nursery.